Julius Caesar was a Roman general and statesman who became a dictator in 49 BC before being assassinated in 44 BC on the Ides of March. That paltry 5-year run is a mere side note when compared to the run of the more successful Julius Pringle, who started selling delicious potato crisps in 1968 and has yet to stop. Today we bow and say, "Hail Pringle," as we taste 3 new Pringles flavors and ask, "You tried that?" You tried that. Pringles. I'm Nick Nowak of the Palace. Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Julius C.
Famous
Julius C.
What's the Pringles? Would it be like A2 Ruffle about like Ruffles or something? Is that what Julius Pringle would say?
I think so, probably, yeah.
Okay, great.
How'd I do that? Convincing.
Hail Caesar, I wasn't sure that's like a common term or not. Like, I feel like I've heard it. Mm-hmm. And then I looked it up and it really was just based on some movies that were called that.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect segue to Geiger, your son Jake watched a movie. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. You watched a movie. Okay. Which snack are we doing first? No. So my son went to sleep. He slept over at his friend's house last night because my daughter's birthday was Thursday. Happy birthday, Evie. And she had a party. Yeah.
Is she listening?
She's sitting right next to me. 11 o'clock at night. But she had a big, massive sleepover with like 8 girls and stuff. So Jake did the smart thing and got out of the house and went somewhere else. And so, quick aside there. The highlight of the girls' slumber party was my wife let them all put makeup on her, and they took all her makeup and just kind of like kept like putting more and more layers on. Like Betsy had to throw away all of her stuff because it all got like all mixed up. But the end result, they kept the door shut. And they're like 3, 2, 1, and I come in to see Betsy, and like it's just black. Her face is completely pitch black, and her friends are taking pictures of it. I'm like, do not put that on Facebook. That is not going to play well.
Ruh-roh.
But yeah, it was very not okay, but innocent in its origins.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But anyway, so yes, my son went over and slept at his friend's house,
and he was in blackface, and that was much more problematic.
They were watching The Jazz Singer, and I asked him what we were sitting in the car tonight. My wife and my daughter went into Target to go buy stuff, and we wanted to sit in the car and like listen to the Bucks game. So we were just sitting there. I'm like, "Oh, what movie did you watch last night?" You know, Ruben said you guys watched a movie, and he's like, "Oh, we saw Ghostbusters." And I'm like, "Oh, which one? Like the new one?" I think it was like the Paul Rudd one. He's like, "No, it was the original one." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Yeah, there was kind of one scene that was kind of weird." And I go, "Uh-huh." And he goes, "It was like with like one of the guys and like the girl." And I'm like, "Was it like a love scene?" And he goes, "I think so." And I just started cracking up, and I couldn't he's like, "What's so funny?" I'm like, "Nothing. I can't tell you why that's funny." But I am going to tell 100 different random strangers on the podcast about it. So yes, my son's first awakening is watching Dan Aykroyd get that Slimer dome. So, well, it wasn't actually Slimer. I think we've retconned that. But yeah.
You still haven't seen the movie, or have you finally?
No, I still have not. I've seen bits and pieces.
How have you not seen the original Ghostbusters? That's shocking.
Well, I've seen bits and parts. Like I've seen the end with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and I know I've seen the beginning with like they find Slimer in a library or something, right?
It's not Slimer in the library, but they do find a ghost in the library. Yeah.
Is it Colonel Mustard and Slimer in the library with a lead pipe? Getting a blowjob.
You've retconned Slimer into every scene in the movie.
I've seen the ending with the Stay Puft Slimer. And
I saw the ending where like the guy picks up the sled and on the bottom it says Slimer. Oh, that was Citizen Kane. I'm sorry, my bad.
They did make a cartoon of that movie where Slimer's like a part of the crew and like speaks English and stuff.
Speaks English as opposed to Ghoul or whatever he speaks now.
Right. He still blows Dan, but
yeah.
But he just, one of those adult cartoons.
Dirty talks him while he does it. Like, oh yeah, give me your balls, blah.
Give me your balls.
The way you described a ghost blowjob scene to your son was it a romantic scene?
Well, I didn't want to say like was he sucking the guy's dick? Like he's not gonna know what that is. So yeah, I hope maybe he does.
Well, now he thinks that's romance.
I definitely because I probably saw Ghostbusters when I was that age, and I definitely didn't know what was happening in that scene. Like his pants unzip on their own, and then he just goes like he like moans, and then it like goes on to the next thing or whatever. And I was just like, what did he have bad gas or something? Like what's going on? There.
Bad gas, and why do I have this huge erection? Right. Is this Sigourney Weaver that is blowing him as a ghost?
No, it's just a random female ghost.
What? This is like just some female ghost shows up for the sole purpose.
It's like in the middle of a montage.
Yeah,
and there's like a bunch of
blowjobs. All these people.
Yeah. He coined the phrase "busted makes me feel good."
Wow, good for Jake.
So it's all downhill from here. He's going to realize that they don't actually levitate in front of you, but they are real, I guess. So that's good.
He's also going to realize that movie sex scenes don't get any sexier than that,
right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Next thing he's watching Requiem for a Dream, and his mind is blown. That doesn't look good.
Is there any movie you watched as a kid, like that you remember as a teen? Because we didn't have the internet, of course, to just go look up every teen thing that you were like either embarrassed to watch with your parents or you just remember like, oh yeah, like the one that sticks out for like everyone our age was Under Siege. Topless lady pops out of the cake. It was like a very popular one.
That was a very popular vintage that year. I wasn't able to watch anything over like a PG-13, so I was working with like Elizabeth Shue in Adventures in Babysitting was pretty good looking, but she was fully clothed the whole time. It was kind of lame. Mm-hmm. Alf, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Chad,
Alf's naked.
Yeah, no clothes.
I don't think we definitely wouldn't watch those with our parents, anything like that. But I mean, I do remember as a young age, at a young age, watching stuff like Revenge of the Nerds, which has like in retrospect a lot of problematic nudity in it, but like spying on these women and stuff. But like at the time, like a 13-year-old kid, you're like, whoa, that's like super hot. But I didn't watch that stuff with like my parents.
Right.
I remember my best friend growing up. He lived in a really super religious family, and they didn't have a VCR. And then someone like gave them one, and so like we rented all these movies.
Too religious to have a VCR.
God believed you had to watch it the first time. But we got all these like videos from Blockbuster, and we were watching it. His mom, who's like super religious, was kind of like watching him with us, and like we were watching True Lies. And there's that scene where like Jamie Lee Curtis is like dancing for Schwarzenegger and doesn't know it's her husband, and she's kind of sexy or whatever. And like we're just watching it, and the mom goes, "Guys, fast forward, guys, and no one is getting up. I was like, "You go do it, you old lady. You don't want to watch this shit." No, we did. We were polite.
Wow, our first introduction to movie was True Lies.
First movie she ever saw. It was the Ten Commandments and the True Lies. It's like, remember that movie from the moment of the Ten Commandments when he was like, she had breasts that would make you beg for buttermilk, just screaming in the microphone. That was True Lies. I got those mixed up.
He gets the stones, and topless lady pops out of the bush.
Tom Arnold is Moses. What the fuck?
All right, let's eat some Pringles. Let's.
I would rather not.
What?
You love Pringles.
And
I
you
love
fucking
Pringles, but these are also. I don't know. She was telling my sister has tried. So full disclosure, my sister Becky gave us. We have 2 versions that are based on the Hot Ones podcast, where they eat spicy chicken wings and do interviews, and they're supposed to. She said she tried them, and they are very spicy. And then there's a third that I just picked up to make an episode of 3. So we'll have to see if they're truly spicy or not.
Let's start with one of the spicy ones. Let's start with the green one, Los Calientes Verde. Gagger, since you have the package, why don't you?
No, actually, Chad has it because I figured it was easier to get out to him that way.
All right, Chad, then you.
I have the package. It is called Pringles Scorchin Hot Ones Los Calientes Verde. And the Mr. Pringle, with Julius Pringle on the top, looks kind of funny. Like, he looks like he's... his eyes are all squinty. He looks like he's getting like a proctology exam or something right then.
He's getting blown by Slimer.
Yeah. The hot one is the ghost that's blowing him. That's the hot one.
Well, that's why it's Verde, because Slimer's green, right? That's how that works.
These
smell
things
spicy.
They fucking reek. They smell so disgusting to me.
I do like spicy.
They smell bad.
I do like Verde salsa, like green salsa, like in a taco burrito.
I love green salsa.
It's really good.
I think it's better than a standard salsa.
Agreed.
I don't like either salsa. How about that?
Well, look at this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know that Moses was the original nerd?
Was he?
Getting revenge.
Who was the original nerd? Who'd you say?
Moses.
Oh, okay. Does Moses get revenge?
Yep.
No. He gets 10 commandments, and one of them is like, "Thou shalt not beat up nerds." And he like
remember when Moses put like all those spy cams inside the pyramids and watched the Egyptians take showers?
Wait, is that for Revenge of the Nerds?
Yeah.
I was like trying to think of the movie in the moment of True Lies where that happened. I'm like, huh? I've also never seen Revenge of the Nerds.
It's not good. Don't waste time.
Who?
All right, I got to finish at least one chip, I guess.
got some kick.
Christ.
You haven't eaten one?
I was like half done.
Boy, these things, you just put your tongue on them.
Yeah.
And they're hot.
Yeah. Just like Slimer and Dan Aykroyd. Sorry, I'll stop now.
We talked about Slimer blowing Dan Aykroyd in at least 35% of our episodes.
Like, would you say we've done more talk about that or more talk about snacks?
This is honestly probably like the 7th or 8th podcast where this has come up.
You slimed that?
Including as recently as our Halloween one.
As somebody, a friend of mine who listens, she said, you guys talk about ghosts all the time on that show. And I was like, I'm like, we talk about ghosts that often. She goes, yeah, let's talk about Slimer. I was like, oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a great point.
One particular ghost, let's be clear. Not ghosts, plural.
He is a ghost, but that's not how I define him.
He's the ghost with the most.
Yeah. The least teeth.
He does have teeth, actually.
Does he have teeth?
Which is odd for a ghost.
And tongue.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I stand corrected.
All right, Gagger, what do you think of these?
So, I like Pringles. We've established this. I am Mr. Chip. And I like spicy food. And I'm actually kind of happy. Now, I think I'm probably going to be way alone on this. But, look, a lot of these things that we try that claim that they're spicy or hot are not at all. They're like
Right.
salty or seasoned, but they're not hot. This is actually legit hot.
It is hot.
And I think it's tasty. I like Verde. Now, it borders a little too much on the heat for heat's sake as opposed to like real flavor. But I do think when you smell it and taste it, you do taste like green salsa as opposed to like a tomato-based flavor, which I give it credit for. So I like these. I would eat, like, and again, this is not something I don't think I could eat. Like,
You're gonna give them a like these
I like
after 205 episodes. You're switching to like these.
you like these. I'll give it a like that. I think these are good. I don't think I could eat a ton of them in a row, or else like I'd have stomach issues. But I could slowly, like 2 or 3 chip by chip, eat these. They'll come out Los Calientes out of my butthole, but I think they're good.
Chad?
I just don't get it.
Yeah,
I
here
don't.
it comes.
I don't get it. I ate a single chip. My lips hurt. My tongue hurts. Why? Why is this pleasurable for anyone? I will never understand spicy shit like this that is so spicy. It's truly unpleasant in every way. This is awful. Hate that.
Wow. Okay.
What's that difference?
A little bit shocking here. These Geiger's right in that it does.
That's shocking that I'm right. Is that surprising?
Kinda, yeah, kinda.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Geiger's not a moron for once.
It does taste like green salsa,
Right.
and if it wasn't that hot, I think I would buy a package of these, a box of them. But the heat brings them down a little bit. However, as much as my lips are burning, I keep reaching for them because I want to eat them because the flavor is very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the best Pringles flavors I have had. I wish that heat was toned down significantly. But the fact that they are that hot and I keep reaching for them, I'm going to give these a low level like that.
Wow.
And right along with Geiger. So
yeah, baby.
a pleasant surprise there.
I can't taste anything. Like, I can't even feel my tongue anymore. I had one chip.
Should we... Let's just get the other hot one out of the way instead of spreading them out. So this is the Los Calientes Rojo. Is there anything different about this packaging, Chad?
It's red instead of green.
Makes sense.
Pringle still, same old Pringle face.
Yeah, same Pringle
Sweaty Pringle.
face.
The color on this one, the color on the first one was like a nice avocado-ish lime green. This is a very unnatural orangey color.
You gotta eat one chip, Chad. The one chip challenge. Oh, I think these are hotter. I think these are even hotter. Oh wow.
Oh fuck.
They caught me right the old epiglottis there.
Oh. Holy shit.
Fuck.
Yeah, my tongue's burning. Literally fucking burning.
Oh.
Yeah, this one hit me in the back of the throat. Oh.
Now, Chad, how do these compare? Because you did the one chip challenge. Is that way worse than both these?
Yeah, it is. That one chip challenge is 100 times worse than this, honestly. Like I was like basically rolling around on the ground from that. Like within like a minute, I was like,
Ooh. All right, Chad.
This one I did actually taste a little bit of flavor in this one. Unfortunately, it is a flavor that I do not like, which is like red salsa kind of stuff. And this one's even spicier. So, yeah. I mean, if I could give like below a hate dat to this one, I probably would. But yeah, I'll give this one a hate dat too.
Okay, this one has crossed the line.
You've gone too far, Rojo.
I literally bit off a quarter of the chip. Part of it escaped down my throat, and it started burning. The part that was on my lips are still feeling on fire. This does seem like that Hot Ones show. Have you guys seen that show?
Yes.
No.
I like it quite a bit, actually.
I think it's kind of funny, like because they have some what
do they do? Just taste
celebrities on
spicy
there.
food?
They have celebrities on there, and he'll interview them with just really standard questions, but as they go, they eat like a spicier and spicier wing. But it just seems like a really standard interview, and they'll have like these celebrities just sweating and swearing and stuff. It's kind of funny. There's nothing. I can't say anything good about them. There's no flavor that I recognize because all I felt was intense heat. I'm gonna give them a second hate that.
Did you not even eat a whole chip then, Novak, or did you?
I took a second bite. I think I got about 3/4 of the chip down.
Wow,
You need
so
to eat the whole thing.
Yeah, I ate more of that chip than you.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
The best part about Hot Ones is that there's always a moment where like you can tell like the first like say I think there's like 10 wings or 9 wings or something, and the first like 4 or 5, most people are just cruising through, and it's always this is not a bad wing, and this is about my career and all this, some actor or whatever, and then they'll get to like 7 or 8, and they'll be like, oh, I need a minute, and the sound cue in the background goes like danger zone, and it's hilarious every time, and they make it like this terrifying sound. Look again. Let's review. Mr. Chip, love Pringles, like spicy food. This is too spicy for me. And not that like I like spicy food, but I think my problem with spicy food where it's just all heat and no flavor. Like Chad, you said you tasted more of the flavor here. I taste a little bit. I taste way more in the Verde one. To me, like all I could taste was flames coming off my mouth. I still feel that way. I'm out of water. I have dragon breath. I will not be kissing my wife tonight. I am going to give this a dislike that. I won't say hate.
What?
Well, okay. I won't eat it again. So yeah, I guess I'll hate it. Let's make that unanimous. This is too much. It also makes me question. I always have wondered, like, I could do that Hot One show, and if I can't handle this chip, I may be concerned that I probably couldn't. So.
Geiger, go on Hot Ones.
Celebrity podcaster Nick Geiger. Hey, Sean. So tell everyone about your podcast. Well, we talk about Slimer sucking off Dan Aykroyd. When did that happen? No, it didn't. It's apocryphal.
Ooh, danger.
Is this third one going to be spicy? Because I'm also out of water.
No, it's street corn, elote.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sometimes my wife will get elote from this Mexican restaurant near us, and actually that one, it is usually like a little spicy when she gets it.
Well, I didn't. I bought it just because it was a limited edition. I needed a third one, so I don't think so, but we'll find out.
All right, Geiger, what do you got for us?
All right, guys. Well, my son saw a movie. You know who makes a lot of movies? Disney. So I was recently at Disney. What's that?
Did you say he liked Ghostbusters?
He thought it was funny. I said, "Did you like it?" It was good. Like a kind of a non-committal. Like, yeah, sure. So we didn't get much farther than that because he wanted to discuss his conflicted feelings about the.
You should sit down and watch Ghostbusters 2 with him, having never seen the original.
Will it make any sense or no? Or is there like
it's
lore
the plot.
I need to know?
No, you're good.
Okay.
It's fucking terrible though. It's way worse than the first one.
Is there?
I don't think it's terrible. I still think it's got some funny parts.
There's some funny lines. Yeah.
Is there just 2 original ones or 3?
Just 2 originals. Yeah.
And then there's 2 after that: the lady one and the latest one.
Right. Okay. Lady and latest.
Lady and latest. That's what it's called. Ghostbusters, the lady one. Okay, so I was recently at Disney. We went to Disney World by the time this comes out, like 2 months ago. Actually, during the hurricane, it was kind of crazy, but we did get some snacks that I bought.
Timing.
Yeah. Saved up for multiple years. We're supposed to go before the pandemic. Got through the pandemic just in time to hit a hurricane. Perfect. Geiger luck still in play. So we did get some snacks there that we'll be eating in a future episode, but my segment was today, so Disney quiz. So we're going to do a Walt Disney quiz. I'm going to ask you guys 10 questions. Try to hang. All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So now, adjusted for inflation, what is the highest grossing animated film according to allears.net as of 2020? So the highest grossing, this is the animated film. So Pixar animated, not like, we're not talking about like the Marvel movies and stuff, which are technically Disney.
But
Yeah,
Pixar like does count or whatever.
Yes. Any animated movie, Pixar or the original animated movie. So again, adjusted for inflation. So it's not just like whatever the last Pixar one was because inflation.
Right. Okay, I'll go first, Lispy. I actually think with the just for inflation thing is key because, like Gone with the Wind is still like inflation adjusted, like highest grossing or whatever, because like stuff didn't cost shit back in the day, you like
had one movie to go see. Yeah.
One movie to go see. You could buy like a 10-ounce T-bone for 35 cents or whatever it was, So,
Yep.
All that kind of shit.
Eating a rare steak and watching a Disney movie.
Gas was less than $6.50 a gallon or whatever it is out here now. So I think I'm gonna guess it's got to be one of these like old ones. I'm actually gonna say Fantasia.
Okay.
Ooh. I don't think it's that.
All right.
What do you think it is?
Then say something else, asshole.
I'll take the field.
Okay, Novak takes the field.
All right. My original thought was like one of the Toy Stories. But this whole adjusted for inflation note makes me think that it's going back a bit further. I'm going to go back to when you could get a tank of gas for the cost of a T-bone steak. And I'm going to go with The Lion King.
I think you could actually trade a tank of gas for a T-bone steak. I think that's how it worked. You brought gasoline in. It was really messy. The restaurant smelled like shit. Okay. I am going to give it to Novak by the slimmest of margins because Lion King was actually third and Fantasia was fourth.
Oh, wow.
But the number one movie adjusted for inflation made $1,021,330,000, and that is Snow White, which I believe is maybe the very first animated one. I'm not sure.
The first one. Yeah.
All right.
There was nothing else to do but go to the movie, right?
Yeah. Even your dad was like, I guess I'll go fucking see Snow White again.
But I mean, shit was so cheap back then, right? Like probably two people saw the movie and then adjusted for inflation now.
Right. Yeah, it's just two people. It was Walt Disney and his wife.
Yeah.
Accounted for $1 billion of revenue.
Right. We're just going to all fucking die when we're 45 years old, so let's go see a movie before we're dead.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me the cheapest T-bone of all. So fucking dumb. Moving on. Okay. Number 2. Novak, you can go first this time. According to Tomato Meter,
List
or Rotten what's that? List A. According to Rotten Tomatoes, per the Tomato Meter, what is the highest rated animated Disney movie of all time? There's one movie that got 100% fresh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably one of these newer Pixar movies. Some of them are very well liked.
I
don't think
Cars 3.
Well, I don't think it's one of the, like a middle ground, Little Mermaid, that sort of time frame. I'm gonna go.
Little Mermaid getting called mid out here. Look at that, fucking slam in the middle. Little Mermaid.
More like Middle Mermaid.
So there's like there's the beginning time when they're learning animation, and then there's like the princess period where every movie was about a princess.
Yeah.
And now there's like a more sophisticated,
like Lion King.
Like right. Exactly. And now there's like the more sophisticated one. I think I'm gonna go back to the Toy Story well. I'm gonna go Toy Story 2.
Okay. So my first thought was also definitely like one of the Toy Stories, but I think with these Rotten Tomatoes, the way the site works, there's like fewer reviews for the older movies.
Snow White.
And so
he's adjusting for inflation?
Yeah.
Walt Disney was the only one who reviewed it.
Yeah. There was only like 5 dudes writing reviews over T-bone steaks, right? So
They gave it 4 tanks of gas.
so now every single movie, like you have one asshole that comes out, even for like, like the greatest movie ever, right? Like Sonic 2. You'll have one asshole come out and be like, I just said that because I just watched it the other day. It was pretty good. You'll have like one asshole come out and be like, this sucks. It's like baseball Hall of Fame voting. You know what I mean? There's always like one asshole that's like, this guy can't get in because Babe Ruth wasn't unanimous or whatever the bullshit
Snow
is.
White was clearly on steroids.
Yeah. So I think it's probably like one of these old ones that didn't have a lot of reviews. But man, those old ones really fucking suck.
Make a guess. Guess something.
All right. Fantasia.
All right. Well, I am going to give it to Chad because he was at least in the top 10. Fantasia was 8th, with 95% fresh. The number one with 100% is Pinocchio, which I find baffling.
No
Pinocchio
way.
is boring as shit.
You're right about the old one, though.
Sucks.
So the top 10 real quick was Pinocchio. Zootopia was 2, which I liked.
Zootopia is a good movie.
Yeah. Snow White 3, 101 Dalmatians, Dumbo, Moana, Aladdin, Fantasia, Beauty and the Beast, and then 10 was Raya and the Last Dragon, which I don't even think I've seen. So
I haven't seen that or Moana, but
it's like the time where they were just sort of wowed by the animation, right?
yeah.
Whoa,
a huge whale, 5 stars. Some shit like that.
We either watched this or stared at our T-bones. There's nothing else to do.
Also, I believe I said I had 10 questions, and I'm just realizing I only have 9 because I just wrote down number 5 and then didn't put the answer. So I'm just going to move on.
What was the question?
You don't want to know. I looked for a list of sexiest Disney characters, but I remember the reason I did not go for it because the list was weird. Yeah. Because I just got distracted by Jack in it.
It's Jasmine. Everyone knows this. It's Jasmine from Aladdin.
Yes, it was actually. No, you're absolutely right. It was
yes,
Jasmine.
100% it's Jasmine. Go ahead.
Well, now I need to know the reasoning why you're so steadfast in this. It sounds like
she's
you had
hot
this
as
answer.
fuck. What are you talking about?
That's what I wanted to hear. Okay. It was like, she's super hot, she's competent, and she has a pet tiger. What's not to like? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Competent?
Yeah,
Wow.
intelligent or something. I'm
competently dressed, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Now we've covered some of the basics. We're going to cover some of the not so basics now, but still a very vital element to any Disney World experience. Okay, guys. According to DisneyToursBlog.com, which Disney World toilet was ranked number 1?
Disney World or Disneyland?
No, I'm giving you choices. Relax.
Oh.
Just pick a toilet, guys. Tell me where there's a toilet. All right. Your choices are A, the toilet in Star Wars Galaxy Edge. This is Disney World, Chad, if I didn't say so. B, the Hollywood Brown Derby, which is very unfortunately named for this podcast. C, Tangled Toilets. D, Journey into Imagination, which also kind of sounds gross. Or E, Mickey's Sit and Shit.
What? You just feel like saying that?
That's not a real one. Don't say E.
Mickey's Sit and Shit. What is wrong with you?
I wanted to do 5 of them, and I didn't feel like using the boring ones. So, right,
okay, so
again,
it's
Star
the
Wars
Figment,
Galaxy Edge.
Yeah, Star Wars, Figment, Brown Derby, and
Tangled Toilets.
No way it's that Figment one. That whole fucking ride is dirty and old.
Yeah, definitely not. It could be Brown Derby because that's like a restaurant, right? So like they They might keep it nice. I have been to that restaurant. It is nice.
You get like a nice brown derby in there.
Tangled. I wonder. Okay, I'm gonna go Tangled because I wonder if they rated it because like maybe it's like all fancy looking on the inside. You know what I mean? Like there's like all sorts of decorations, like two toilets like entwined on each other so you can cross the streams if you're pissing with your buddy, stuff like that.
Yep, that's the plot of the movie Tangled. You nailed it.
I never. Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Star Wars galaxy because I feel like who comes online to raid a toilet but a bunch of nerds, right? And so they will have spent the most time in the Star Wars galaxy area.
The toilets on Batuu are superior.
Novak, you are right. It is the Star Wars. It's also, I think the giveaway is it's also the most recent, probably. The Star Wars Galaxy. So they have the cutting edge toilet technology there. Like you shit into a droid's mouth and it like cleans it up for you or something.
Blue milk bidet, stuff like that.
Yeah. This isn't the shit that you're looking for.
The nerds actually have Revenge of Montezuma.
They sure do. We don't know what that means. Okay. Next one. Name the only Disney movie who has a character whose main character does not speak. So, one Disney movie whose the main character doesn't say a word. Novak, you get to go first here.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say. Now he might say something, he might not. But
nope, he has to say nothing. That's the whole point of the question. It's not an either or he says everything. No, he doesn't. Shut the fuck up.
I'm pretty sure it was Robin Williams as Genie.
Yeah.
Don't remember him saying all that much. I'm gonna go with the movie Chad has said multiple times already, and Fantasia.
Okay, so that was my first thought. But does Fantasia have a main character? I mean, It has that like Mickey scene. Has that Mickey scene, but that's the only scene with Mickey, right? Isn't there a bunch of like other shit with like just fucking like butterflies and like
I don't know.
Well, the broom's just a Mickey scene, but the rest of the scenes is just like, hey, here's some fucking water nymphs like dancing around for an hour or whatever.
Plus, there's a part where like Mickey turns around, sees all the brooms, and goes, "Holy fuck!"
And then there's the part where like he just finishes eating a huge meal, and then he turns to the camera and goes, "Time for me to go hit up my sit and shit." Remember that part?
Yeah, that's where I got it from. Yeah.
Him and the broom are eating. Him and the broom. There's a scene where they're eating T-bones, and he's just like, "Have you seen the price of gas, T-bone?"
He's shaking a couple coins out of his pocket and giving it to the guy.
And there's that other part. I don't know if this really counts as a line or not, but like Mickey's kind of asleep, and then like all of a sudden his pants unzip, and there's a ghost broom, and he starts moaning. Like I don't know if that counts as a line or not.
Yeah, it does, unfortunately.
Okay. So it's not Fantasia.
All right.
I wonder. So I can't remember if he actually specifically says anything or just makes beep and boop noises. But I'm gonna guess Wall-E.
Okay. So
actually, in that scene where Mickey's getting.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Just you wait, Geiger.
Don't move on. I gotta.
This is an important fact. Okay. The scene where Mickey's getting blown.
Yeah.
Right. If it sounds like moaning, but if you play it backwards, he's saying, "Grab my balls."
Oh, worth it.
It's one of those hidden Disney things, like where it says sex in the smoke.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a part where like Wall-E was laying on his back and one of his AC adapters stuck up in the air and another robot sucked on it? I don't know what that.
Yeah,
Wall-E was laying on his back.
Yep.
One character who does not need to lay down.
Or get blown. I mean, really, if you think about it. All right. No, according to this, it is Dumbo doesn't speak. Dumbo the elephant. Because he's a fucking elephant, guys.
Sure.
Well,
that makes sense.
I mean, all the other animals talk, but okay, so no one gets that one.
Mhm.
All right. Which of these Disney myths is true, according to thetravel.com? So, A, Disney cast members can't decline any requests of guests. B, Walt Disney is buried at one of the parks. C, there is an abandoned park in Florida called River Country that was supposed to be a water park, just kind of lurking there. Or D, if a guest yells, "Andy's coming," to one of the Toy Story characters, they have to lay down still on the floor like they're just regular toys.
Okay. I don't think it's either of those like guest related ones where
Yeah.
you like torture the employees by like lay down on the ground. Now I'm gonna teabag you, or whatever. Like
Andy's coming. Starts to get up. Andy's coming. It's all fucking dead.
I have to use the restroom. Andy's still coming. But the sit and shit is right there.
I got all fucking day, Slinky Dog. Andy's coming.
Okay, Pluto, you're Slimer. All right, where's Donald Duck? No, not me. He's like running away.
And the Walt one feels pretty far fetched to me too. I actually am pretty sure it's the River Country one. This might make me sound like an idiot, but I think I may have gone there. Right? Like I think it was like shut down. It was like an old. They used to have like when I was a kid. They used to have 3 water parks, and one of them was River Country, and it was like the shittiest one. Like it didn't have anything good. And then I think the most recent time I went to Disney World, I was like, oh, what happened to River Country? So I could be making all that up and sound like an idiot, in which case cut all this out. But that's my guess.
Mm-hmm.
Cut out the parts where you get the answer wrong? That's
that's right. Cut it.
Chad won. You guys didn't hear it, but he won.
There's no way it's the first or last one, like Chad said. Yeah. And it could be Disney is buried in one of the parks, right?
Yeah.
Just like visit the mausoleum next to the city.
He's one of the skeletons in Pirates of the Caribbean or something.
Yeah. His face is in the wall of the haunted mansion. Like,
so I'm actually going to agree with Chad. I think that sounds pretty plausible.
All right, you both get a point. That's correct. So you guys both make up for not getting that other one, you slackers. So yeah. There was no really interesting true myths. I guess that's why they're not myths. But I found the Andy one hysterical, and I also was cracking up at like someone thought, because these are all things that people thought were true. Like you could just walk up to any character and they have to do whatever you tell them. Bark like a dog. What? Okay. Seems arbitrary. All right. Here we go. Let me just make sure I got the rest of these. Okay. All right, so popular Disney property, Star Wars, right? Uh-huh. Infamous for launching the careers of Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Napier Panprick, all the famous ones. So,
Therm Scissor Punch,
Dexter Jetster. So, fellas, what's the most famous phrase in all Star Wars?
I am your father.
No, second most famous phrase.
Oh,
may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Right.
Oh, I'm like, I think I got this.
I know this one. That's not the question. But how many times across the 11 movies, the 9 main storyline ones, the originals, the prequels, the sequels, Solo and Rogue One, was the phrase, "May the force be with you," said? You're not going to believe this. Several websites had a bunch of nerds counting this.
Sure.
So I don't know who's up. Is this Novak going first or Chad?
It's me.
Okay.
This is not. Every now and then there's like a trick question like this, and the answer is like one. Like this famous line you feel like is said is not said, but I'm pretty sure this is said fairly regularly.
I'll say the answer is not 1. I'll give you that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's 2.
It's 1.5. He goes, "May the force," and he gets killed by Darth Vader. Ran through with a lightsaber.
Who's he?
Admiral Ackbar. It's a trap. Where the force be with you? Just get sucked off the airport.
I thought he just got stabbed by Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, well that too. And he said the whole line when I said it. So.
Put
That's
effort
the one
through the fucking
time.
ringer.
The halftime is when Neeper's Panpick starts to say it and then gets beheaded by a lightsaber.
Beheaded. Remember in the original movies when a character gets beheaded? That grisly death scene he had.
That does happen in Star Wars. The old
Who gets
Jango Fett gets beheaded.
Yeah.
And
Jabba got choked. So not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Nope, not at
actually,
all. Nope.
This actually could be another answer that Neeper's Panpick's one of the only main characters who does not speak in the movie.
That's true. Yeah. Actually, it's Neeper's Panprick that comes out and wipes your ass in the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge bathroom. One ply or two, sir.
Wait, which fucking character is he? I forget.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. So, Chad, you look him up. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Neeper's handprick.
All right. Neeper's Panpick was an alien private detective who operated in the city of Canto Bight during the Cold War between the First Order and the Resistance. So it's like he's like a private eye on that casino planet that they go to in Last Jedi.
What? He's like Dick Tracy? I don't remember a single thing about him. Like, there's a big detective undercurrent in that movie?
No. But he probably just like walks past and then like the nerds made up a huge backstory for him. I will tell you though, he looks very funny. He's wearing like a suit and his hands are like this and he's got these giant bug eyes. You got to look him up.
All right. That said, 24.
24 for Novak.
24, that is high. That's over twice per movie. And I'm pretty sure I don't think they say it in like some of the movies, like Rogue One, they probably don't say it. Well, maybe they might say it 24 times in Solo. I don't know. But,
Neeper's Panpick. This photo.
24 times. Funny. Yeah.
Doesn't he look funny?
Yeah.
I think it is, it's probably a lot, but I think that's a little high. I'm going to go with 17.
All right. I like how you're like 24 and then you pick something somewhat close to 24. I will go. It is going to be Chad by the thinnest of margins. It is 20 actually. 20 times.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
just by a point. It is not said in Rogue One. You are correct. I think that's the only one that no one says it. I think Solo they say it like once or something. Probably like right as he's like, "This is how I got my famous underwear," and he like wanted some underground pit fight to win his famous jeans or whatever the fuck that whole movie was about. But this is
remember Solo's jeans? You guys remember those jeans?
God, remember he was walking around those dungarees the entire movie, and you're like, where'd he get those?
Long time ago when jeans only cost 5 cents. Remember those?
Remember when you only had to go like 5 parsecs on a gas tank to get some jeans?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I remember.
There was also 2 instances of someone saying, "May the force be with us," and then 2 instances of saying, "The force will be with you."
Oh,
so those don't
I counted both of those. That's how I got to 24.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, Novak, you fucked up. All right. According to Urban Dictionary, what is a daisy duck?
Panpick?
What is a Neeper's Panpick? What is a daisy duck? So there are 4 definitions. You can pick any one of them, or you can make your own, obviously, and then I'll figure out which one's the closest. So I'll give you some time to think.
Wait, there's 4 definitions? Oh,
well, there's 4 definitions on Urban Dictionary. I didn't just say that.
So if we say whatever's
get
closest. Any of those 4, yeah.
Yeah. I'll figure out a way to make one of you the winner.
Uh-huh. Daisy Duck. I don't remember any characteristics of Daisy Duck. Like as a character, in the Mickey Mouse verse.
She's a duck.
Right.
Yeah.
That. But like, I mean, you know, like Donald, very distinctive because he has like the attitude and the lisp or whatever, like the temper.
She's a pretty troubled backstory.
Yeah, like Mickey's kind of like a piece of shit, and then like Minnie, you know, she's a kept woman.
I think she was a teen runaway that got into a life of drugs and prostitution, and then Donald like made her whole again. I could be misremembering that.
You know, actually, probably because I forgot Daisy Duck is why I said Jasmine to the sexiest character, but it's clearly Daisy Duck. You know, like you got that ass.
But you need to have a curved penis to have sex with her, so it probably won't work. Or a corkscrew.
All right. Daisy Duck. So it's probably something like you make your mouth into like a duck bill kind of shape, like pout your lips out, something like that. And then you motorboat her vagina. I don't know.
I love how that sentence starts with, it's what it probably is. It's probably when you motorboat someone's vagina.
With duck lips. With duck lips.
All right. We'll go with that as one answer. Yeah.
You gotta buy me a tank of gas first.
Give me a T-bone steak.
Okay. My thought then is maybe it had something. It was a playoff of the Daisy Dukes, right? So it had something to do with short shorts.
Okay.
And the shorts were so short that the vagina was hanging out. That is the Daisy Duck.
The vagina.
Yep.
Your entire vagina is just slumped to one side. Hanging low in dim jeans.
Some short goddamn shorts right there. I'll tell you.
There were some Daisy Ducks. Novak, you are actually almost spot on, actually, with one of them.
What?
So, one of the definitions was Daisy Dukes. So Daisy Duke shorts, which are very short shorts, but they have a tampon string sticking out. Those are your Daisy Ducks. Yeah. Another one is if a girl walks around with just a shirt on and no pants, like because that's what Daisy Duck wears. Like because the duck itself. Well, sure, but and they didn't want to name it the Donald Duck for their girlfriend. Probably, I don't know. One is an attractive pregnant woman because she's like waddling around like a duck. And then the last one was just to throw shade and sass and assert dominance. I don't remember Daisy Duck being all that Miss Piggy like. So another one of these which is not trues. Okay. Which Disney controversy? I don't know if you guys know this, but Disney, not always the best company. Okay. Mm-hmm, so which Disney controversy is not true? A, Disney planned a theme park near the site of the first major Civil War battle in Haymarket, Virginia, and intended to do a realistic depiction of the time, including slavery, and also build a golf course, commercial space, and houses on it. 2, cast members were forced to share underwear, so they would have like communal underwear that just got washed by the company and just passed out to them when they got there. C, oh boy. So you guys know the Princess and the Frog movie. Originally, it was designed for Tiana, the princess, to be the maid of a rich white family, and then people got mad about that, so they made her an aspiring restaurateur. But then they made her the advertising piece on the front of their Dig and Dips Valentine candy watermelon flavor, including a double pack in which she was on one side and Princess Aurora was on the other doing a vanilla flavor. And then D, a guy dressed up as Tigger, one of the employees, felt up a park patron, or was accused of doing so, but got off in the court case by demonstrating that his suit was such that he couldn't possibly have like manipulated his fingers in such a way to do it. So which one of those four is not true?
Okay. Remember the first one was the planned near Civil War site. What was B again?
It was the cast members sharing underwear.
They all seemed true when you read them. I don't. it's either for me between B and D. It's a very tough call. The other ones, I don't think you would make up that racist one.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was my clarifying question was, did you make up the one that isn't, that, or was it like on a list and it was like, oh, actually, this one's not true?
We'll have to find out.
All right.
Because you were like reading a lot of specific text.
I wrote down the thing. I mean,
I'm gonna. This might be it's a little against my gut, but I think I'm gonna go with the underwear one.
Okay.
I just don't. I think that seems unnecessary.
Unseemly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, but I do remember. So I used to work at Six Flags, Great America, and there was like shared outfits there. Like you would show up and they would give you your costume for the day, and you'd put it on, and then like at the end of the day you'd drop it off, and they would do all the laundry. Like you never took the clothes home or whatever. I could see Disney taking that like a step farther, where it's like, oh, the full thing. Like, we have special underwear that you have to wear for whatever fucked up reason, you know? I could see that happening. So just to be different, I'm actually going to go with the Civil War one, because that just seems like just a step too far. Unless it was something like, Walt Disney, famous piece of shit. Like, maybe that was something he was planning. But, like, anytime past, like, 1970 something, like, I don't see how that actually happened.
All right. Well, I'm giving you both a point. Just because I feel like it. Because all four of these fucking things are true somehow. All of these things are accurate. How in the fuck did a multi-million-dollar company do some of this shit? So the Tigger one is especially funny. I was just picturing this guy in court dressed like Tigger. Like, how am I supposed to feel someone up with these hands? But he apparently got acquitted, went back to work as Goofy, and got suspended again because he like pushed over two photographers in the fucking wearing. That guy needs to chill.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are just terrible. How do you
Somebody should have told him Andy's coming, so then he would I guess he's not a Toy Story guy, but still.
Okay, so I did save a legitimate question for the end. So Chad, you still can tie it here. You're down 4-3. All right, so last
I'll go
question.
first then, so that you can guess.
Yeah.
All right.
So according to the Mary Sue and the Fortress of Solitude, two different lists that listed the worst Marvel characters of all time. Okay. Which of these is a made-up worst superhero? And I did make this one up. There's a legit answer it here. So, there's 5 here. 4 of these are real heroes or villains, characters in the Marvel universe, and 1 is made up. Okay, here we go. A, Bailey Howell, who's an X-Man, whose only ability is that he can blow himself up once, and then he's dead.
Blow himself up.
He can blow himself multiple times.
He's an X-Man. Is that a term?
An X-Men. X-Men. One of the X-Men. He's an X-Man? What was I supposed to say?
He is an X-Man because he's just a bunch of guts on the ground.
He's a former man.
Yeah.
2, Asbestos Lady. A villain of the Human Torch who just is able to make a lot of clothes and that are fireproof. She's a chemist. 3, Hell Cow, half vampire, half cow, who's immortal and can turn into a cow bat. 4, NBA Super Pro, who has super strength, speed, and a uniform that's indestructible. That's and real. 5 is Almighty Dollar, who's a CPA that shoots pennies from his wrist. So you've got...
Okay.
Quickly, X-Man blows himself up, Asbestos Lady, Hell Cow, NBA Super Pro, and Almighty Dollar.
They're all obviously stupid. I'm going to go with the one whose name is the worst, an Asbestos Lady. So I think that one's fake.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like they've known asbestos was bad for a while.
Tuberculosis man.
Yeah, I don't feel like they would have named. Although they knew slavery was bad for a while and still wanted to do a slavery park, so I don't know. I guess not really. But the one about like just blowing himself up is so stupid. I'll go with that one.
Okay. Neither of you get it. It was actually NBA Super Pro. That's not a real one. However,
I swear that was real.
Yeah.
they do have an NFL Super Pro. So it's a football player who's super fast. I just figured if I said NFL Super Pro, you'd assume I made it up. So, all right, Novak, you stay with the 4-3. The last bit I'll leave you with is the almighty dollar. His real name is J. Pennington Pennypacker. It was like the most creatively bankrupt period of comic books ever, apparently.
That was the only one that I knew for sure had to be real, because that does sound like a shitty Marvel character.
All right, let's get to the Mexican street corn Pringle. This one's got some promise to it, but it has to beat 2 likes. So let's see if we can get it done. Chad, what do you see on the package there?
All right, so it says elote, and naturally and artificially flavored, blah, blah, blah. There's a picture of a cob of corn with some, like, sour cream and, like, other shit on top of it or whatever, some seasonings, and a lime wedge.
I don't know if I've ever had elote, and I've had most foods. Common foods, I guess.
I've tried it and it's okay, but I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good, but again, like, the place that we got it from is, like, it was always, like, too spicy. But I do like corn on the cob, and so there's no reason I wouldn't like it.
So, corn in general, like if you just like corn flavored something, doesn't sound appealing. But it can work with the chip, right? Because they're basically corn in these chips.
Made of corn, yeah.
Right. There's no way in fuck I would guess this flavor. Like, it's unguessable flavor. Like, if I was eating this.
Well, Pringles aren't normally made of corn, though, right? They're
potato, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about it before that they can't be called potato chips,
right?
But they legally
have
to be called crisp. The flavor is not bad. I think it's got some decent. I guess it's not spice. It's not a spicy flavor, but there's a decent amount of flavoring on it. Tastes pretty good. So it's supposed to. What is on the picture of the corn on the front? I'm trying to see what they're trying to mirror.
Like maybe parsley, some red dots, is that cheese, a cream? I don't know. You tell me. Can you decipher any of this bullshit?
I can taste the red dots.
Yeah.
I think it's probably paprika and pepper and chive or something, and then whatever they put on elote, whatever the spice is.
I think these are decent. It's kind of a new flavor that I haven't tasted in chips before. So I'm going to give this a solid like that. Geiger, what do you think?
Would you eat these over the Verde Hot Ones?
Just because of the heat.
Yeah.
If it was just the flavor alone, I prefer the flavor on the Verde. I wish they would make a less hot version of those because I really love that flavor. So I would choose these just barely over those.
I mostly taste corn and lime. Mm-hmm. I think there's a little lime on there, and I don't. Yeah. That combo alone is not good to me. Like, I wouldn't just take a cob of corn and just squirt lime all over it and eat it.
Cob of corn plus wedge of lime.
Wedge of lime. Lime of wedge and corn of cob. I know what you're saying, Novak, in that, like, you eat corn chips all the time, but the thing is, when I'm eating them, they don't taste like corn. Like, a corn flavored thing that's not corn is kind of weird to me. Like, I have a same thing when I eat, like, pickle chips. Like, I like pickles, I like chips. It's hard for me to, like, my brain is like, why am I tasting pickles when I'm eating this chip? So I am just going to give this an indifferent to that. I would absolutely eat the Verde Hot Ones over these every time. But I don't think they're bad. They're, like you said, it's an interesting flavor, and I think they're probably hitting what elote is. Chad, you can maybe verify a little bit more, because like I said, I've never really had it, but they're just kind of okay.
All right, here's where we stand. The Verde got 2 likes and a hate. Right now, we've got a like and an indifferent. So it'll tie with a dislike. Anything better than a dislike, and these chips will take home the W. Chad?
I agree kind of with what you guys said about, like, how, the flavor accuracy is like, what? You know what I mean? Like, and maybe that's just on account of elote being something that we don't eat every day, but like it is completely unguessable. I would just guess lime, honestly, if I was like, if you handed me this chip and said what flavored lime, that's like mostly what I taste is the lime. But to me, actually, this combination works pretty well. I probably like this better than like a regular Pringle, which to me is like it's sort of like a very bland kind of middle of the road nothing chip. I think there's really good seasoning on it. I think this tastes pretty good. I was going back for more. Most importantly, it's not painful to eat. It doesn't make my mouth hurt, my tongue hurt, my bowels hurt in 12 hours when I go do a sit and shit. So this is good. I'm going to give it a like that.
Okay.
Right.
Clear winner today, and that's the Elote Pringles. Geiger, where can listeners contact us?
If you have your own toilet rankings, not only of like Disney World, but other like, I don't know, like the Kennedy Space Center or like, I don't know, London, any of the hot tourist places.
Where's the best shitter in London? Tell us.
Is that the Tangled Toilet?
Big Ben shitter?
The Big Ben shitter. The Big Ben sit and shit. The Stonehenge flex and squat. I don't know. I don't know why you're flexing. If you have your own thoughts on Disney and all the horrible things they do, or the lovely things, we did have a nice time on our trip. Corporate, soulless fuckheads as Disney is, but make some nice movies like Pinocchio. If you're one of the countless people that contributed to the $1 billion gate of Snow White, just fucking dopey and sneezy, just rolling in bags of money, a la Uncle Scrooge or whatever his name is.
That movie fucking sucks.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in so long.
Boring.
It
It's insane because it costs $2 to get in there. So what's the like?
I heard they made the movie for 2 T-bone steaks. They just paid the animators in sirloin. You can get a hold of us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. You can listen to or interact with us on Twitter, #YouTriedThat. We're on Facebook with the face back. We're on face back.
Face back.
I want my face back. We're on Twitter as long as Elon Musk doesn't kick us off. We're on Facebook at You Tried Dat group. Hit us up. Let us know what you think of our ratings. Suggest snacks for the podcast. Ask a question for the mailbag. Tell your friends and family if you do enjoy it to also listen. And as always, thanks for listening every week. Or some weeks.
All right. Yeah,
or any at all, really. Yeah.
Glad to be back. We hope you enjoyed our run of classic YTD. But we're gonna be heading. We're gonna heading up to.
What was the highest grossing YTD?
Well, adjusting for inflation, it was the first one, I think.
Right, yeah. So we will be heading the holidays. Hopefully, we got to find some impossible meat to eat for Christmas this year. I don't know what that's going to be, but
I have some ideas.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. We'll do some planning here while we have our episode.
Let me open up planning, Doc. 1 second.
That'll do it for this time. We'll be back next time. We're trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.